அது அட USB கூடவா? இது நிஜமாவே ஸ்டார் தான்ப்பா.
Best in class performance plus உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச smart features. TVS Star City Plus.
Hi, my name is Siddhartha Nuni. I'm the cinematographer of Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu. You're watching me on Moviebuff Short Talk. The interval stunt block is one of the most complicated sequences in VTK. It was a mammoth challenge which involved like so many people. It's not just the cinematography, but also a lot of things had to come together for the shot to work. For example, the shot actually starts from downstairs and goes through the parota shop downstairs, goes through the steps, and then goes into the upstairs floor and goes out of the window and comes back in through the door, and then the finale happens. So one of the biggest challenges was the lighting for it. When Gautam sir told us that we're going to do it in a single take, I think firstly I was like, okay, how are we going to do this? I didn't know how to, I've never done something like this before, and the stunt choreographer Lee Whitaker, I have to really give credit to him to have done a brilliant job in designing the whole stunt sequence. And it actually happened very quickly, the idea that okay, that we're going to do it in a single take, and to the execution, I think it happened in a span of like almost 3-4 days. I loved the idea firstly, but obviously it was a challenge for me, and but by the time we got to the interval block, we kind of figured out the grammar of the film. We kind of we've already started doing long takes, and the reason for that is that I would light up in a 360-degree angle, which means that the camera can completely rotate 360 degrees, and you will not find any problem like for example seeing the lights or shadows. I've kind of learned how to manage that, and so I was kind of, I can say that I was quite confident in executing it. It was challenging, I was nervous, but I think I had the confidence that okay, we can pull this off, because by the time we were tuned to the way we were working, we were already getting into the single take zone, and this is almost like we were like, I can't say the middle of the shoot, but somewhere we were quite accustomed to the grammar of the film. For the viewers who have watched the film already, you'd have understood that the scene actually happens in like almost darkness. The reason is that the people who are working in the parota shop have finished for the day, and they're all asleep, and that is when Simbu and Appakutti start coming down the stairs, and they leave the shop, and that is when they are attacked, which means that technically all the lights inside the parota shop have to be off, and whatever lighting that has to happen from outside the windows. So the mood of it was supposed to be like late night, where the lights inside the building were supposed to be turned off, and obviously we had already figured out the grammar of the film, which is with regard to the lighting and mood, that we try to create the world of the parota shop very organically, which means that the interiors will be lit up with the tube lights, and emulating tube lights, the warm tube lights that we have used, and in the night emphasizing the exteriors also through urban sodium light coming in through the windows. So I had to basically emulate, so if the inside lights are turned off, basically the outside lights have to be on strongly, and those were the ones which were creating the lighting inside the parota shop. So this is, when it comes to the lighting and mood, this is the thought process behind it. I was very excited firstly when the shot I mean, I was up there actually. I was like, so one of the biggest challenges also was the fact that the camera had to go from the window to the outside and come back inside. So we did something called a handoff. And Lee Whitaker, the stunt choreographer, uses something called his famous rig called Orion, which it's trademarked to him, and he loves using it. And I just said that okay, you do it yourself. And so he was the one who operated the camera from downstairs to the upstairs, and at the window I took the camera outside and I walked on a ramp which was created by Rajivan sir using a contraption, basically a platform, and I walked across the platform, coming through the other door, and Lee sir was waiting there, taking the camera from my hand, and the finale section plays out. So I was technically up there when all this was, when everyone else was enjoying watching the shot downstairs. And everybody was nervous, obviously, because we obviously cannot do it some 10 times or something. Already the actors, it's a physically very draining exercise. And I think we did like some 4 takes or something like that. And there were things breaking, so we had only limited number of things that we could refix. For example, next to the stairs, Simbu sir throws out one man, and that whole thing had to be fixed again whenever a man flies out of it. So we had only a limited number of things, so we had to get it right ASAP, basically. And I remember everybody was outside watching the monitor, and every time a take got over, everybody was erupting with clapping and like excitement. And I'd be like, is it okay? Is it okay? I was up there and I was trying to figure out, okay, is it a good take? Is it a good take? But I think somewhere at the 3rd take, it was great and everybody really rejoiced. And I mean, Gautam sir was obviously quite excited because it is his vision in the first place. And we had a nice cake cutting when the shot got okay. VTK is a slow burn gangster drama. It starts off in Tiruchendur as a young man of 21 who has to leave his environment and goes to a new city and starts a life there. And it's a journey of Muthu, literally, of a young boy from rural Tamil Nadu. And the people who have watched it, like I get comments that it actually feels like reading a book, and it is that. And till the interval block, there is a lot of, and I feel the audience are really ingesting that world because it's very new. And we've also tried to be very experimental with the way we have shot the film. So at some point, I think the audience is kind of anticipating a high towards the interval time, where it's like a payoff, right? Like you know that something is going to happen, and then when the actual stunt happens, I think the single take really helped, added by the phenomenal music of Rahman sir. I love how he has broken, and Gautam sir, who has broken the stunt sequence into 3 parts. If you look at it, the first part of the ground floor is completely like in just the voices of the people, and then as he goes into the red light and goes up the stairs, it starts off the rap of Neeraj Madhav starts kicking in, and then as it goes to the finale, it comes to Marakuma Nenjam, and I think the audience, firstly, I feel were in a shock about what they were watching. And they got drawn into the stunt sequence, and by the end, when Marakuma Nenjam starts, it just the theater erupts every single time. I've seen the movie like in the theaters almost every day and multiple shows, and every time the finale happens, the theater really erupts, and that's when it really whatever we worked on for this movie kind of comes together. And I think the first half ends in a beautiful bang. It's it's a great experience. Yeah.
உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் டிவிஎஸ் ஸ்டார் சிட்டி பிளஸ்